Nick, how'd you feel getting back out there? Did you consider yourself 100% against Georgia?
Yeah, I feel good out there. Throughout the week, I was kind of like maintaining, just make sure I'm good. Probably wasn't like taking as much reps in practice, just to make sure I'm good for game day. And I got out there, just felt natural, just felt smooth.
Nick, as frustrated as I'm sure it was over those last 2 weeks, what were you able to learn just from watching from a different angle and to be able to help your team as you got back from this past weekend?
It was kind of tough, like watching from the sideline, because that's like the first time I've been sidelined probably since like from my sophomore year of high school, and I probably never missed a game ever. So that was kind of like tough just watching from the sideline, because I kind of learned like more gratitude for the game. You know, like the game kind of just like looked a little different standing on the sideline. So I got a lot of more gratitude for the game, and like more interacting with my teammates and just seeing things from a different perspective, like helping out when I can and just trying to stay positive. So.
Okay, so a couple snaps with you and Jalen on the field together against Georgia. Just what did you like about that lineup, having you, him, and DQ all at the same time?
Man, just three dudes who's going to get after it, like three big body dudes who's going to play hard, and that's about it. Like, you know, Coach Gray was talking about he wants some big bodies for Georgia, and that's probably the best three you can get.
What did you see from Jalen while you were watching on the sideline last couple games? What's kind of your interpretation of how he's doing all that?
It's kind of funny because he kind of looked like me a little bit, like same way how RJ kind of went down first game. It's I don't know, it's crazy, like kind of ironic, but he looked just fast. Like I told him when you go out there, just have a good motor. You know, you're a freshman. When you're a freshman, you just not even think, you're just playing fast. So just play fast. He was looking just like I was my freshman year.
When you went down on that first play, you looked really, really frustrated in that moment. How bad did you think it was, and what were the thoughts going through your mind at that point?
I knew like when I was running after him, it felt good, but like right before I made the tackle, like I kind of leaped to tackle him. I felt something in my hamstring, and like right when I fell down and rolled over, I just knew in my brain like I knew I was just like I probably can't get up. You know, it's kind of like a different feeling. So I was just kind of a little frustrated. So I got up, and then I knew I couldn't walk. I think Matt Brown helped me up, and I knew I couldn't walk, so I sat back down. In my mind, I was just frustrated, like, this can't be happening. Went to the sideline, see what they could do. I thought I was good, you know, try to go back in the game, and I just couldn't.
And how do you try to manage that injury? Because apparently they linger. So how do you try to like keep yourself from maybe pushing too hard and like re-injuring it or aggravating it or whatever?
It's kind of hard trying to hold yourself back when all I know is kind of like going hard. It's kind of hard doing that, but just the trainers and my coaches like just telling me to be smart, make sure I'm taking care of my body more, like drinking a lot of water and staying in the treatment room. Like I live in there now, even if I'm not hurt, I'll just start in there, stay in there, just do what I can.
Nick, what's the next step for this secondary with you returning, Jalen obviously playing at a high level? What's the ceiling for it, and kind of what are the next steps you'd like to see improve as a secondary as a whole?
The next steps I can see it for us to improve would probably be like more communication. I feel like we've been great, but like Coach Gray kind of stressed to us about like how important it is, because some plays in that Georgia game, I'll say like towards that second half, it wasn't like the worst communication, but we could have been a little bit better. So like if we have those plays and we communicate those plays, who knows what happens. But just being the best we can, just taking that next step and being like one whole defense.
Sticking with communication, Jalen was just in here talking about that. Shane talked about it over the weekend. How do you grow that as a team? Is that just film room practice? Where do you get better communicating?
It's kind of just natural. Like it kind of just happened. Like the day we was in practice, and it starts from the film room. Like I knew what was coming, so when I knew what was coming, I told DQ or told Jalen like go shoot the play, and I got you on the deep end or the back end. So I think it comes from like watching more film and just speaking up, because sometimes you're just in the zone in practice and you don't never like want to speak up, and you just like make sure your job is right. All right, thank y'all.